Welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Wednesday, July 8th, 2020, and some news, behind-the-scenes news before we get going, at least until Wes comes back. Pat is going to be doing video, late-night video guy all the time, and Mark and myself will be doing the audio editing for the podcast and radio so that we can do the social promo in the mornings for those. And Pat, I see why your nights are so busy and you're not getting up for the show because I checked out patthepoolboy.com.
Oh, you saw that, huh?
Uh-huh. The URL that you promised us last night. And my goodness, it is something else.
Yeah, I bought it. And then I built a little site because I figured what better way to convince my landlord that we should, in fact, get a pool than to create a very elaborate backstory.
Yes.
That a sad and dark backstory, but
really
pretty
sad
much boxes me into only one possible skill set in my life, and that's pool maintenance.
Are you going for a pool and a lower rent, like a charity handout thing too, or?
I don't know.
Again, it's patthepoolboy.com. Pull it up. Nothing upsets me more than knowing a pool isn't clean. It keeps me up. It sure did last night, that's for sure. Making
Certainly
this site. So I mean, basically, like you said, you created this pool boy. It's a persona, right? So it's like a.
You could call it that. I mean, Pat the Pool Man was taken. Unfortunately.
So
I like pool boy. I like pool boy.
Did you try poolboypat.com? Because I thought that might.
I was really high, Will.
Okay.
Like, I was very high.
Well, I'm just saying, Pool Boy Pat, it slaps. I feel
well,
like.
okay, well, now I'm going to have to buy this shit. I'm going to have to go buy that domain before this airs.
You
to
will.
get the spread out to make sure no one's encroaching on my territory,
Pool
man.
Boy
God
Pat.
damn it.
You got to check this shit out, though. It's pretty awesome website. I think it's like very well put together, personally.
Thank you.
I was impressed with the professionalism.
GoDaddy's website builder, bro.
I thought you were just not doing work for the team, and that's it. But you were also just then building the site.
Oh no, that's content right there, baby.
Yeah.
When you get inspired, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, boys.
You got to check. Well, anyways, I was just to get
the best part was taking selfies of myself in the underwear at 3 a.m.
Was that green screen? Was that green
and
screen?
have my roommate walk by and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
That is amazing. You got to check out the green screen photo. It is the main photo. Right. So anyways, that's a long way to say, if you have questions about videos, go to @HardFactorPat on Twitter or @PClassity on Instagram. If you got questions about the audio in general or just shit talk, go to @HardFactorWill or @HardFactorMark on Twitter or Instagram. And then you get your questions answered. You know, you just go straight to the source because that's what we're doing. So that's some behind the scenes news. patthepoolboy.com. Pat, please look for Poolboy Pat. I feel like that might.
I'm gonna have it now, dude. I have no other fucking choice. It's another $7, right to GoDaddy.
Another $7 a month or total?
No, the domain's pretty cheap. The
Okay.
domain's like $7 a year. But then I have to set up forwarding. It's a whole thing. Don't expect the videos to be on time tonight. That's gonna be a whole other.
You gotta prop up the other site.
It's your fault, Will.
I know it is. I'm sorry. Was it not
You
ready
set
to
up this-
unveil? I mean, you announced the URL last night.
No. But now I got to go buy
He's
the
got
other
to
one.
get the other one though. He's got to get the
then
other
what-
one. Yeah.
yeah.
Pool Boy Pat. He's saying he's got to make sure it's locked in.
Wow.
And when Pat gets involved in that first step, he's going to take it the next 13 steps. Is what he's saying.
What do you know about me?
Yeah.
What
I get
happens?
obsessive.
Also, what happens when you start getting like real business hits?
What do you mean? What happens? You can actually book
he
me through
cleans
the
the
site.
pool.
I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
You'll just
I
go
mean, what
take
happens?
care.
He
of
makes money. Yeah.
You'll go TCB on somebody's pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Bro?
Nice.
I gotta get practicing.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Well, we got 6 listener submitted stories for What the Fuck Wednesday today, all from the Hardo Hive, all fucking incredible. Mark, get us going.
All right, guys. This one comes from submitted by the interns. And on Tuesday, Jair Bolsonaro, the president of Brazil and the #1 trash talker of coronavirus in the world, admitted on live TV that he contracted the coronavirus.
Oh, yeah. The guy that was saying that it wasn't just wasn't a thing, basically.
Yeah. Whoops.
I think he called it the little flu, right? It's the
He did.
He
We'll
did.
get to
I
that.
think he said it was actually non-existent at one point, but then he like retracted that. Like he
Yeah.
has a long history with shit talking coronavirus.
He's been shit talking it for a while. He did say, "I'm perfectly well. This pussy ass virus is actually making me stronger," while shirtless. I made up the last part. He did say I'm perfectly well. The second, then he also went on to say, everyone knew that sooner or later coronavirus would affect a good part of the population, which is singing a different tune than what he originally was saying months ago.
No, if he's saying little flu, though, because the flu hits a lot of people.
True, right. And then he said, but life will continue, and if the economy doesn't work, it will bring new forms of death and suicide. So he's, while staring at the TV with coronavirus, saying that the economy is more important than people like me contracting the coronavirus.
Did you guys see the video of him talking to the reporters without a mask on after testing positive? He not only looks like shit, like physically, like his lips are like white and he's got like this weird tint to his skin.
He is 65. He is 65. So
He's
right
just
now,
took his mask off. He's like, look, I look fine. And he doesn't look fine. He looks like a crazy person talking to people with no mask on.
He told them
got a positive test.
He told them to stand back. By the way, he doesn't like wearing masks.
No, he's like that guy in your hometown that would just bang all the girls. You know, the guy that would just get to everyone like before you even like got pubes, and then you're like, God damn it, he slept with her. Bolsonaro is like that guy. He just doesn't give a shit that he has chlamydia, essentially, and he's like, fuck it.
Yeah, he's a gift giver. That's for sure.
He's an ultra spreader for sure.
But I am who I am.
He admirably is sticking to his guns in the economy, and I think sadly it is time to just wear a mask and wash your hands and try to limit your exposure to crowds and close proximity, especially indoors, because at this point, like, it's everywhere, right? The coronavirus is absolutely everywhere. We can't keep the economy closed forever, so like, probably open it up. Be safe, people. So if you're lucky enough and patient enough to stay indoors, or elderly, do it. But otherwise, you got to pay the bills, right? But back to Bolsonaro. This is the guy that refused to wear a mask in public and even fought the court system when they ordered him to wear a mask in Brazil. He was like, no, I will fight you, court system. He refuses to wear a mask. He did wear it on that thing, like Will said, but then he took it off. When asked if now that he has the coronavirus, if he thinks the people of Brazil should wear masks, he refused to say yes to that. He's not gonna even say that yes to that while he's contracted the virus. This is the guy who got stabbed in the abdomen in 2018 while campaigning for president and had to finish the campaign with a feeding tube and colostomy bag, and said in April of this year, if I'm infected by the virus, I wouldn't have to worry because I'm an athlete. I wouldn't feel anything. And, it's only...
He looks like he's feeling something, honestly.
I agree. But he said, this is the little flu. He goes, I would only be affected by only a little flu because I'm an athlete.
Yeah. Man, the guy that stabbed him, total backfire, because it ended up just showing that he has grit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you go and you try to kill the guy, but then he doesn't die, and people are like, wow, he's gritty.
Oh, it's like the spider that bit Spider-Man, the guy that stabbed him. It's like...
who's not upset, though? French President Emmanuel Macron. These guys have a huge rivalry, Bolsonaro and Macron, and Macron's getting the last laugh here.
Well, whose wife is hotter again?
He's not.
Definitely Bolsonaro.
Bolsonaro's.
Whoa. And it's like, the age discrepancy is crazy.
Macron's like a tadpole or whatever that is, the guy that like fucks a way older woman.
Wait, Bolsonaro's the guy that was literally, he was like selling off chunks of the rainforest and saying that it was good for the environment.
Oh yeah, he's
right?
done some questionable stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, look, the guy that gets stabbed and becomes stronger and refuses to tell people to wear a mask when he's got the coronavirus. Look, sorry, coronavirus.
Also questionable. Yeah,
you're not going to change this leopard spots, all right? Bolsonaro's going to Bolsonaro. So yeah, I guess it sounds like, we'll see. I think he's probably gonna be fine because he has the best medical attention and stuff. He's gonna have a couple bad weeks, but I think he's gonna be fine. But it is important. What's
what? Like, seeing Bolsonaro really like fall on his face in terms of his projections of coronavirus makes me feel great about what Hard Factor has done, because from the start, from like March, we were saying weed, workouts, UV rays, masks, hand sanitizer. That is exactly correct for today. We're like 4 or 5 months later. Incredible work by us.
Yeah,
I think we've been on the right
side of history.
Like, just constantly.
Do you guys get mad looking at the stats and seeing us leading the coronavirus? Like, I get mad. Like, I want to be number one, but not in coronavirus.
That's a bad one to be number 10. One in. But we tested that. Well, Brazil's number 2, so I would suggest wearing masks there, whether your president tells you to or not, and I hope that everyone's safe over there. Also, Bolsonaro has been shaking he got caught, like last Thursday, they saw him on a video or whatever at an event coughing, so he probably contracted it by like a week ago, and ever since then, he's been in public shaking hands and like in kissing babies, and he's been in a bunch of videos and stuff, so... Anyone that's been in contact with Bolsonaro,
so he's basically infected half the country.
Yeah, he was like he shook so many goddamn hands infected. But good luck.
That's not good, huh? Is it?
Wash your hands over there in Brazil. Good luck.
Power of positive thinking. Guys, this next one is easily one of the most fucked up stories we've ever covered. This week, Dutch police arrested 6 men after discovering a makeshift and soundproof torture chamber built out of 7 shipping containers.
Smart.
That was
Soundproof,
stored inside of... Yeah, so they can't hear the screams. These shipping containers were stored inside a warehouse in southwestern Netherlands. And from the pictures of this thing, guys, it looks like you could literally start shooting Saw 9 in there like tomorrow. Like set dressing, done. 6 of the containers were designed to be cells to keep the victims in, with lucky number 7 serving as the murder container, probably because it had a drain. That's probably what tipped them off.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
There's a
Inside
full-on
of the
serial
dungeon.
killer palace.
Was it a set for a movie, Pat? Is that the twist?
No, not at all. This was a weird Dutch torture club. 6 dudes, hobbyists, I'm guessing.
Oh, so it was like Hostel, the movie.
It was like that. Yeah. Inside the dungeon chamber, the 7th one, guys, authorities found, check this out, a dentist chair, tools, including pliers, scalpels, and handcuffs. So essentially like an orthodontist office, but slightly better. Yeah. Big win for Dutch authorities here, guys, but tough break for the little Dutch torture club, especially because they got busted before they could even do one torture in there.
They didn't even get a single murder in. What a bunch of losers.
Good police work.
Yeah,
Nice
wow.
job.
I know.
Wow.
Talk about a disappointment. That's like spending all day like smoking a brisket and having your dog grab it off the table when you turn around to crack a completion beer.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Mark, you brought up a good point, though. Is it good police work, or are these guys just losers, terrible torturers?
They're such losers. They should just have them serve their prison sentence in their individual cells while they couldn't, where nothing went on. Like
inside the torture chamber?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're complete and total failures.
Yeah.
I bet their high school teachers are like, yeah, this is exactly what I expected. Can't finish anything. The cops guys were able to nab the Dutch 6, not because of great police work in my opinion, but
it's perfect. Holy shit.
I know, right?
It would fit.
One per cell. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you have 6 cells, and then you have an exercise yard and a dentist chair.
But then you
but
just
guys,
take them out one by one to torture them in front of each other.
Yeah.
And
that creates a job, too.
What they should do is put them all in the 7th room one at a time, and they have to watch the entire Hostel 1 through 3, which they're all terrible, where like there's successful torturing going on, and then they bring them back into their stupid cell. Yeah.
You, what's that?
Like Clockwork Orange. Yeah.
Yeah, just them seeing how they could have, but then they failed.
Right, but they were
that's
terrible.
their punishment.
Yes.
Yeah, the weight of a failure. Guys, the cops were able to nab the Dutch 6 as part of a Patriot Act-style sting operation by the French police. I guess the French police figured out or were legally allowed to hack into a bunch of phones in CrowChat,
They got
which are
the Earn It
encrypted
Act.
phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And they are pretty much just monitoring millions of text messages, and they saw a couple floating around about 7 shipping containers, a dentist chair, and torture shit. And they, their little French ears went up. It wasn't just amateur dentistry either, guys. These guys were into other shit because the search of the containers uncovered bags of tools, including hedge cutters and pliers, as I said earlier. And the tools were likely intended to, quote, torture the victims, or at least put them under pressure, according to the police. Here's where the twist is, gentlemen. After searching the homes of the men, police found police uniforms, body armor, stolen vehicles, 25 firearms, and drugs. So it might have been like a criminal syndicate, like mob shit.
And they were, posing as cops. You get away with it. Wow.
Those are some bad hombres.
I'd seen some posts about that on social media recently. Like, it's more common than you think, I guess, people posing as cops is what I'd seen.
Like
Is
the
that true? I
guy,
just
like
watched
the guy in Canada that went absolutely berserk. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nova Scotia.
What I was saying, what I saw online was in relation to like hate crimes in the United States. Like sometimes
And like
white
rapes and
supremacists.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well,
like
the Dutch
women
Hammer
get pulled over by fake cops too, right? Like,
Yeah, just
Yeah,
fake
the
cops.
Dutch Hammer
general,
sent us his
watch
uniform.
out, not good.
And in the note, it said, don't wear this at a Halloween party. So we're not going to do that, Hammer, but it is pretty easy to get to recreate a cop uniform, if you ask me.
Yeah, make sure they got the squad car and
you
everything.
just befriend a bunch of cops and have them send you a uniform. Yeah,
Get them drunk.
yeah.
And then ask.
I wasn't thinking to do it yourself. I was saying just avoid running into one of these nefarious
I'm not
fake
going
cops.
to do it. I'm not going to do it. Well,
Okay, good. I'm sure it's a crime.
yeah, it is. Ask DMX.
Pretty
You
serious
sure?
one.
Yeah. You think?
Pretty serious
Okay.
one. All right, we moving on, Pat? We done there with the Dutch 6, or we got more?
No, we're done. We're done.
Okay, good. Those guys were creeps. Let's move it on to New York City, the Big Apple. My wife, a member of the Hardo Hive, who probably wants me to get a vasectomy after just a little taste of pregnancy, sent me this one about Staten Island having to end their deer vasectomy program due to New York City budget cuts. So turns out in Staten Island, there was actually guys paid to go around capture bucks. You know, that's a male deer, give them the snip vasectomy, and then re-release them into Staten Island.
You'd have to imagine they thought that was the safest job of all time with the amount of deer dicks they've been cutting, like job security, and then whoosh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
bucks are so dangerous, Mark. That's a dangerous ass job.
I know.
physically.
I'm not saying it's an easy job, but I'm saying you got to imagine there's no shortage of deer dicks to snip. Is what?
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
On the
I
East
wonder.
Coast, yeah, lots of deer.
You know when like you hear a story about like a psychopath like torturing animals or like killing people? I wonder why we don't find those guys and then put them in jobs like this. Like, hey, bro, here's the deal. You can't murder anyone, but you can cut all the deer dicks you want all day long.
I'm sure
It's kind of like it's like methadone for a
That is
psychopath.
very interesting, Pat. I mean, I don't know if you want to appease.
You don't like
them.
my take?
deer
Well, no.
dicks. I mean, I think
Not
this is
saying
a
I
stupid.
don't.
I personally don't like this program. Deer dicks, slaughterhouses. I get what you're saying there, though. Let's get a quote from New York City officials. They said, "During these unprecedented times, we have been tasked with making difficult decisions, especially as it pertains to our budget." That's what the Parks
Yeah.
Department spokeswoman Charisse Hill told the New York Post. And apparently, putting this catch and snip program on hold for Staten Island through FY21 will save the city about $700,000. And
Oh wow!
then-
with the overhead and the gear, those guys had a $700K budget a year. Not bad.
about $1 million
Yeah,
a
you-
year. But
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. About 500K.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like, yeah, we shut down the fire department, saving millions.
Yeah. So
But
now
what
the
about fires?
Yeah. What
Will?
about all the deer that are going to run into cars and kill people?
Well,
And they're going to be horned up, bro.
Yeah, this is not a
here's
great
the
idea.
thing.
That's a
No,
pretty
no, no, no.
cheap way. That's a pretty cheap way to keep the deer population down.
that's
And
only
a
look,
New York deer is fucking tough, bro. Have you ever met a Staten Island deer? Those
they
guys
have
don't
to
give
be
a
urban
fuck.
deer.
One lawsuit from the city is going to be
gotta deal with
50-fold
cars,
this. Yeah.
Shaolin.
All right. But guys, the craziest part about this, it throws a little monkey wrench. As of April, the city said that 93% of Staten Island's antlered deer had already been sterilized. So what the fuck were these deer vasectomy guys doing all day already? So I think that may be why
They were
an
cutting
easy
dead
cut.
dicks.
Yeah, well, they didn't have 93%. Like, what? Oh, we sorry. It's
Just
really
pretending
hard to
to
find.
work.
Yeah, really hard to find that
Yeah.
last 7%.
Why are so many deer sterile? What are they drinking, like nuclear water?
I don't know. But I'm sorry for these guys for losing their jobs. But wouldn't like hunting the deer and then selling or using the meat for good purposes be a way more effective program than just
William?
sterilizing all the game in your area?
I like
You can't have
that.
guns in New York City. You can't have guns. I mean,
What
maybe it's just
about bow and
handguns.
arrow?
Bow and arrow. You can bow and arrow.
Crossbows,
hunt.
bow and arrow. I like that. You could feed the homeless.
No,
you're
we
talking
covered
about.
no crossbows. I'm talking about.
Oh,
Okay.
what
Bow
if
and
we
arrow.
armed the children too? Like, there's a lot of kids, at-risk youth in Staten Island.
Look,
if you just
you could teach them how to defend their homes.
give them something to do too.
I like
Their
this,
bow and
Will.
arrows, or just take out the deer. That's more importantly harvesting their meat and feeding their families. Also, hog harvesting programs, deer harvesting programs. People need jobs after all this corona. Those are solitary and productive jobs that would allow people to eat less industrial processed meat if you did it right. Anyways, it seems to me to be more effective than chasing around the last 20 non-sterile deer.
It's not as funny as snipping dead dicks,
No.
but it could be effective. Could be helpful. Yeah.
Just saying, $9 billion shortfall in the New York City budget, and they're too good for government venison. That's just
There's
not-
a guy out there somewhere just sitting on his couch, just swiping the air, just wishing it was a deer vas deferens. Out of work.
That's sad. That is sad when you put it that way. Taking it to Twitter, Doug Parsons, he pretty much summed up the way that most of the people were feeling, and it's all caps. Deer vasectomy? Taxpayers fund that? Here, we call it deer season to thin the herd. Is New York a total loss of common sense? Do you have deer abortion clinics too?
Oh, Parsons absolutely nailing New York.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man.
That guy eats paste chunky
That guy
salsa.
is not going to New York ever.
City.
Yeah, he is never going to New York. All right, guys. Let's go to the land down under, another place of tough men. Got a double What the Fuck Wednesday from Australia for you. The first is from listener Rick Holt, and it's another coronavirus one from me. Australian officials decided it would be a good idea, I'm assuming for What the Fuck Wednesday purposes mainly. I think that was their main motivation when they implemented the first hard lockdown in Australia in a 9-block radius of tower residency or like lower income like housing on like apartments and towers.
Like probably like a harder place to do it. More people.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Tons of people in stacked apartments in a 9-block radius from Flemington to North Melbourne. They locked in over 3,000 residents in their tiny stacked homes starting on July 4th in the afternoon and plan to keep them quarantined in their homes until July 18th at least. You're not going to keep 3,000 Australians in their apartments for 14 days, guys, and you're not going to keep one unidentified 32-year-old in his apartment for more than 2 days, as the man attempted to flee on July 6th and when stopped by the police, assaulted them and bit one of them.
Well,
yeah. What were they thinking?
They're enforcing a lot of tyranny over there. That's an extreme lockdown. This 32-year-old, you need to get out, breathe the free air.
I'm surprised. How did he get caught? I mean, you got to be a real idiot to not be able to slip out.
So here's why, Pat, and this is where the story gets crazy. There's at least 500 police officers being deployed across the 9 towers in a lockdown. They have shut this place down so hard. Apparently, they gave the people like in the towers less than a day's notice or around that, and then they locked in. It's like a fucking horror movie or a cruise ship
some
in
suppressive
towers.
shit right there.
Yeah, they brought
Or
in
like a
food
church
trucks.
camp.
They brought in food trucks, and like the food trucks make like 3,000 meals, and then people deliver the meals to outside the doors and give them like hygiene packets with like shampoo and shit, and like leave it. They can't. They can't leave their fucking apartments. It's like it's a prison.
Do they have Wi-Fi?
So that
this
sounds
doesn't sound bad.
I don't know. It sounds
That's
bullshit.
I thought Australia was supposed to be some kind of like freedom place.
Well, it started as a prison, didn't it?
Well, right, it
Yeah.
did. Penal colony.
Penal
So
colony.
did Georgia. So I
well,
mean, like, what's...
You got to look at this tower housing, and it's insane. Those people are not having a good time. Next story from Australia, sent in from Garrett from Iowa, is also scary, but has a happier ending. What's the worst thing that can happen to you while you're driving, guys? Inside the car. Inside the car.
When you flick a cigarette butt out the window,
That's
but
a
it comes
great one.
back in the car.
Ooh, bad.
That's a great
or
one.
you get farted on and nobody will lower the window.
Those are
Yeah,
good.
or you're driving back from New Orleans and you pee in a cup and you throw it out the window, it whips back into your buddy's face.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, we covered that.
I'm sorry, Will.
For me, it's like a tarantula crawls on my leg or a sandal falls off my foot and jams the pedals. You can't like brake or gas. For Wes, it would be a bee gets in his car and he's got the windows up. For many,
What an effective and fun way to kill Mark Will, if you want.
A tarantula?
Is to just release a couple tarantulas
I'm
in his vehicle.
crashing
It would
that
be
car.
really funny to watch him do... Oh, not in a car. But yeah, if you did want to get rid of him.
Oh yeah, it'd be hilarious. For many Australians, it's
It'd be a
probably
Dateline.
probably having a brown snake, one of the deadliest snakes in the world, slither into your lap while you're driving, and that's exactly what happened to a 27-year-old man known as Jimmy, who was pulled over by the police for speeding at over 75 kilometers an hour in a zone where he wasn't supposed to be doing that. So Jimmy got pulled over, and then he told the police a brown snake had slithered its way through his truck's gear shift and attacked him, and that he was actually driving well over 100 kilometers an hour while stabbing the snake between his legs with a knife, because all Australian people have a knife handy, right? That's not a knife. And then he trapped it with his seatbelt and was just stabbing near his crotch and trying to kill the snake. And that after he successfully killed the snake, he was in shock and he was slowing down when the police got him. And he's like, if you don't believe me, feel my heart, mate. And the cops just saw how like fucking freaked out he was. I don't know if it bit me or not. I might need to go to the hospital, he said. So the cops like checked him.
Wow.
He wasn't bitten. And they found a dead brown snake with its neck cut open in Jimmy's truck. Yeah. So it wasn't like Tommy Boy or Black Sheep when Chris Farley was like, the bees are huge. They're everywhere and sting crazy. It was actually a brown
Mark,
snake.
maybe that's your like guy. Maybe you would rise to the occasion if the tarantulas were there.
I would certainly kill the tarantula, but I don't know if I'd maintain my vehicle on the road.
You would kill the tarantula with you. You would take it out Thelma and Louise style.
Yeah,
But imagine
that.
going down to shift from third to fourth gear and you're reaching down and maybe Jimmy happened to have like a snake head gear shift ball on top of his gear shift already.
Which that
Or
would
if
have been
not,
badass. If
do you think he grabbed the brown snake and shifted it into fourth and realized, oh man, this isn't my gear shift?
I hope so.
I hope he said safety first when he was strangling it with his belt.
Dude, Australia's fucked up. It is a
Yeah.
fucked up place. They have the most deadly shit down there.
It
It's
just
cool,
crawled,
though.
It just crawled through his fucking car like he was just driving and went like through his like air conditioning, like whoop.
Australia reminds me of like Texas or a place like that in America where everybody's rocking a knife. Like,
Yeah.
You just like, it's not surprising that this guy just had the knife at the ready, crush the snake.
And generally, it's not against other humans. It's like against
It's for
the
vermin.
wilderness.
It's like or like a tricky situation you got to get out of. You got to cut a rope. You got to
But
deal
I
with
don't know if
something.
that's good. Because like 20% of knife guys in America suck. Like most knife guys are dope, but then there's that faction of knife guys, the guys that always have a knife at the ready that you're like,
Oh, man.
come
Well,
on.
if you were to have
they
like
might not need it. They just
if you were to have like an international knife competition, you don't want to go with like Americans versus Australians. Like we're gonna lose
Australia,
that.
they got to be the odds-on favorites.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
Oh,
like that's like
absolutely.
beer fest. Like you know, like you don't want to go against like the Germans or the Irish, right? Yeah.
They issue them a knife at birth. Guys, an evil baby, speaking of birth, was born in the city of Haiphong in northern Vietnam recently in what was most certainly an unplanned pregnancy. And now the reason I can say that the baby wasn't part of the plan is because he came out of his mother's cannon clutching her intrauterine device as if to say, sorry, haters, ain't no bullshit IUD gonna stop me. I'm born.
That is-
He was just
he's
holding the IUD.
Could you
What?
imagine being the father, like, or either parent, if you weren't excited about this situation, and then you see it just clutching the thing that was supposed to save you?
Did
just
you
taunting
say-
you with it?
Did you say this
Not a
kid
great
was
start
born
to
in
the relationship.
Australia? Because this kid's tough as shit. He beat.
No, I know. No, Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
But
Vietnam just chewed an IUD
yeah.
in
What?
the womb.
it's an awkward couple hours when the baby and the mother meet there. You know what I mean?
Well,
Not on the
she
best.
can say, "See, I told you."
And the baby's like, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
You didn't want me.
Yeah, like, it's coming out. It has a chip on its shoulder against you. It's just giving you a dirty look.
Scroll down if you want to see pictures of this little fucker. The baby's 34-year-old mother claims she had the coil inserted 2 years earlier, but it did not work because she later discovered she was pregnant. Yeah, no shit, Mom.
Yeah.
We know it didn't work. Your baby's literally holding your birth control device. It's like a baby.
Have you guys, has your partner ever had an IUD before? They're supposed
I've never messed with the IUD.
A partner of mine has.
They are supposed
Previous.
to last way longer than 2 years. So
that true?
obviously did not work. Yeah.
Interesting. Did she forget she had it?
No, she knew she had it, and she definitely probably told the dude, "It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
no Connies
For sure.
I'm protected," and he was disappointed.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. She could show him proof when he was like, "You lied."
Yeah,
jerk.
I think it's supposed to last for like 3 years.
Well, that's what they say. The bond between a mother and a baby is unbreakable. So that really it was probably the baby backing up mom because he knew as soon as he came out that dad's going to want proof that she did in fact have that IUD, and he's waving that flag.
That's what I'm saying. But like you said earlier too, it's a trust issue all around. The father probably didn't trust the mother, but then like that's starting to be rebuilt with the IUD coming out. But now the baby's got the mother has some explaining to do to the baby. So there's really broken trust in all sorts of different relationships here.
If this baby remembers the IUD situation and from the womb, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're never getting over this.
Absolutely, the baby's gonna. This is a Damien baby, bro. This baby bucked birth control.
mean-
They're gonna have problems with this child.
I mean, it's in
guarantee
every
that.
picture and then every like internet story. Like, oh, am I the baby that had the IUD?
Was there any? Was the father interviewed at all? That'd be interesting.
No, there wasn't. It was one of these stories by The Sun, a tabloid in the
Sure,
UK.
okay.
So there wasn't much info. But in the photos, guys, taken by the obstetrician, the baby is like striking different poses while holding the plastic and copper coil IUD to his face, like a middle finger to the world. Like the baby knows what he's doing. Let's take it to the internet real quick.
What a beast, though. I hope that kid grows up to just have whatever he wants. Is it a he? She?
That's a he.
Okay.
Whatever he wants, except for the love of his mother, probably, or knowing that he was wanted. Chris Watt says, and this is a British paper we got it from. It says, "Oh, it's only crying. Looks a bit like Ina Sharples, though." I didn't know who Ina Sharples was. I put a little side-by-side photo there for you guys. She's a British tabloid or TV actress, and they do have a striking resemblance.
Yeah.
Viv says, at least he has a toy to play with for the last however many months when he was in the womb. He had a little thing
that's fun.
to mess around with, which is a nice thought, like a mobile. Mikey Boyo says that's one ugly baby, and he's not. He's not wrong. He's not
Looks
wrong.
a little like Ghislaine Maxwell to me. Yeah.
The baby had to fight whatever chemicals are in an IUD or whatever's going on with that whole. I don't know the science behind it, but
It's like if Ghislaine and Epstein had a kid. That's what it looks
Well,
like.
it more looks like Ghislaine Maxwell's soul. The baby on the outside looks like Ghislaine Maxwell on the inside. Mrs. HF guy says this is an inaccurate reported story and an old one. The baby was born in America, not Vietnam. His mother is Lucy Helene from Alabama. She's already admitted that the coil was put into his hand after he was born. He didn't come out holding it. So
what?
Big party pooper from Mrs. HF shitting on the Sun and their story, the British tabloid.
Who's right?
I don't know. I'm not going to do the research. I like the story better than
Strike that comment from the record. Strike that comment from the record. Yeah, bullshit.
Obviously came out holding it. All right, everybody's favorite time of the week. We got to move on to voicemails and reviews, and we got some good ones this week. Okay, so we're going to do voicemails first. You guys just give me a second. Maybe fill the air. Is there any kind of voicemails that you're looking forward to?
What was the name of that liar, that last comment?
Oh, Mrs. HF?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was lying. All right.
Fucking liar.
All right. First voicemail, boys, is coming from Mike in Lexington.
Hey, Art Factor boys. This is Mike from Lexington. I know no one really asked my opinion on this, but you guys have heard on your pods and the serious debate show today, who do you think would be like the best musician to run for president or be our president? I'm going to expand that, and not just musician. I think celebrity. Hear me out. I think the clear answer for me is Nicolas Cage. And first and foremost, most fundamental reason, he knows the Declaration of Independence front to back. That man is a man of honor and like follows that Constitution to a T. So I just think who is he well equipped? He knows what's up. And secondly, he's like the Nickelback of the movie industry. I don't know why everyone hates him. I love the guy. I think he's pretty likable. And, and also, like, I think a lot of people say Contact the same kind of character and he's all these shitty movies, but he had Raising Arizona like back in the day. Okay, so he's multi-talented. At the end of the day, it's the whole Declaration of Independence for me. He gets it, man. He gets it. So he has my vote. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that one. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for keeping on. See you later.
All right, Mike. Long one to tell us that Nick Cage would be the best presidential candidate out of any musician or celebrity. Bold statement. What do you guys think?
I got to tell you, that's a really bad idea. Now, Nick Cage is a boss, and he is a national treasure, Mike. We'll give you that. And he does know the Declaration of Independence front to back, as evidenced in all the National Treasure films. But a peek inside Nick Cage's brain, it's like looking the devil directly in the eyes.
Those pictures of him on the planes,
on the airplane,
leaving Vegas. Yeah, like
he got married for like 10 hours.
Oh my God, dude! His wedding, his fourth wedding. Dude, Google Nick Cage's fourth wedding. It's the fucking best.
But here's the main argument against it. I don't know if you remember when a certain governor of California stopped making movies, but he's gonna have to stop making movies.
That's a good point. And to answer your question, Mike, why people hate on Nick Cage. Nicky Cage is widely known for being his own man. He makes his own choices. He got into a leading man position after leaving Las Vegas, which he won an Oscar for.
Which was just a documentary.
Yeah,
which is him getting drunk and
little
sucking
too
on
on the
Elizabeth
nose,
Shue's breast.
turns out.
He's also, great reason to be president. But Cage got in a little bit of tax trouble, my friend, and did about 75 films for about $1 million a piece to dig himself out of debt. And that is why you can turn on the television and see up to 4 Nick Cage's movies on at the same time. It's pretty amazing.
I love it. That's my favorite part about Nick Cage. He's just always on.
Working man.
He's also a Coppola. Don't forget about that.
That's right.
True. All right, next one. We got the return of Big Ounce.
What's up, fellas? It's Big Ounce. I got a little bone to pick with the academic system today. Fuck them. Online classes is bullshit. It's not fair that I didn't get to do it. So fuck everybody who does get to do it. Had this pandemic happen 2 years ago, I probably would have graduated college. It would have been dope. But, nope. Here we are. Fuck the academic system. Have a good one, fellas.
Really strong take there from Big Ounce, and a really one I hadn't thought about. Pat,
finally.
Pat, can you relate to that one?
Okay, so Big Ounce, I'm also not a college graduate. I feel that pain with you. But also, fuck the academic system, because I'm not one of those a-holes that came out of college thinking I was going to get a good job just because I got a degree. It's stupid.
Sure, but you do excel at the internet, and you probably would have gotten a degree if it was all online.
Yeah, you know that's not true.
No, I was trying to help you.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe.
I am who I am.
I was thinking maybe so. I complained. Ounce. I luckily survived college, but I would have taken those onlines. Also, you're a network engineer, so you ended up okay. Didn't need
That's a DeVry.
I want to know about the bees. I got a DM from him saying update on the bees. Not going well. Tell us about the bees. Call in with the bees.
Yep.
Yeah,
Big Ounce took on like 1,000 bees. I do want to say one thing though, guys. It is super interesting to think about because you do not have to go back to college this year. You just don't have to. What would you guys do if you could live anywhere? You know that if you go back to your campus, you're not going to be able to party. So you could travel. You could do anything. What would you do?
I don't know. I guess you'd try to live at a sweet spot and then just take your online courses.
Live at the beach.
saying.
The summer going into
beach,
junior year of college, I lived at the beach. Best summer ever. Live at the beach if you're at college.
Yeah, figure it out if you can. Also, for Mike in Lexington, Terry Crews, also a decent celebrity candidate, especially after him dealing with Don Lemon, not letting him talk all day. All right. Next up, I'm going to play 2 in a row, fellas, about the same subject. Okay, so let me get through both of those.
Gents, what's going on? Good morning. I guess good morning on my end of things. Very concerning question that I don't think has been answered or asked. And maybe it has, and I just missed it. But where the fuck is Wes? All right. Get back to me.
What's up, boys? It's Zach from Chicago. Thanks for the birthday shout out a couple months ago. Really appreciate that. That felt good to hear. Appreciate it, boys. Rolling into a long weekend here. Just got off of work. It's Wednesday afternoon. Getting lit for the fucking 4th. I hope you guys are too. Calling in to say, where the fuck is Wes? I missed that man. Please, get him back on the fucking show. All right. Y'all have a nice weekend. Take care. Be safe out there.
All right. One more thing.
Wes has been on the show. He doesn't talk very much. You guys know that.
Yeah. He's a quiet boy. One more too when we go into 5-star reviews. The first 5-star review of the week is from Ashy Poo, and they say "Dad Bod or Bust" as the title, and they just say "I miss Wes." Period. P.S. The podcast is pretty good. Thanks, guys. So not only the voicemails from Chance, Zach, the review from Ashy Poo, tons of DMs from all kinds of members of the Hardo Hive. Everybody wanted to know where Wes is at. He's taking care of a family matter, and he will be back soon. So,
He'll be back. He's doing good.
He's doing good, though. He's fine.
He's doing real good.
Do not worry. Not to worry. All right.
He's not dead.
No.
He's not dead. He's not fired.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. He'll be back soon.
He'll
Family
be back
stuff.
in
He'll
here.
be done with it soon.
Yeah, you don't worry. He'll be back in here cackling at us and whatever else he does. Just snide remarks.
We'll put it in the title of the day he's back when it happens. Wes is back. It'll be the title of the
I
podcast.
hope he comes back tan.
Oh, you better. You
But
better.
tan Wes is one of my favorite Wes's.
Yeah, it gets a little extra zing on him. All right, next 5-star reviews from Jackson P. and Sydney C. They can say 5 stars. Stellar podcast. This is by far the most underrated podcast put out by Barstool Sports. A great way to get mostly unbiased takes on the news and politics. Each and every good morning from Will actually makes me have a good morning, which is why this is the first thing my girlfriend and I will listen to when I wake up. The interaction with your listeners is unique and awesome. I can't wait to see Hard Factor grow to rival Joe Rogan. Whoa, Call Her Daddy, etc. Also, Boat Race Part 3. Wow. Thank you, Jackson and Sydney C. What a review. And they've both been debating, by the way. Barstool Radio. Sign up for SiriusXM.com. Free trial. You guys got anything for Jackson and Sydney? You just gonna
Yeah, I
take
love
in
Jackson.
that glowing review?
Thought it was a perfectly written. I don't what
It's well
you,
done.
You want me to muddy the waters with what I have to say about that perfect review? No.
No. Okay. I thought you might want to comment on how my
Thank
good
you,
mornings,
Jackson.
How my
I
good
will
mornings
say
really do
something.
make people's mornings.
I will
better.
say something. A lot of people have been adding me about some takes I made recently that they consider me biased. And to them, I will say, I appreciate the feedback. Thank you. We're always listening. If you want to talk to us, DM us. DM me directly, DM Hard Factor News. Sometimes I get passionate about what I think might be best for the country, but I'm sorry if I'm going in any particular direction.
Comedy
We do
show,
wanna give
Pat.
the unbiased
It's a comedy
news.
show, Pat.
Right.
I know that, Mark. Let me say my thing.
All right.
Pat's getting it off his chest. That's what voicemails and reviews are for. That's why we do them.
All right.
That's why we do them. We'll read whatever you say. By the way, 5 stars. You could be talking shit to us. We will read it and address it. Also, the voicemail. Put them in. Final. So 2 more 5. Lots of 5-star reviews. Hive is buzzing this week. All right, this one is from Berksy15. And no, I don't like the title off the bat, but we'll see how this goes. He says, "Why do they all look like Farva?" ? Is the title. He says, "I was a little skeptical of the actual content and potential bias from what looks like the Super Troopers third string understudies. But the JV squad from Broken Lizard report the news. They don't leave anyone off the hook based on party or ideology, and they are semi-funny in the process. Hard Factor and The Hill are my go-to for honest, non-biased news." So, a backhanded thank you, Berksy15. Lots of insults in there.
Couple negs in there. Yeah, but I think he likes us or she.
I hope,
Yeah.
I hope so.
I don't give a fuck.
Keep listening though. Yeah. Thanks, Berksy.
Thank you, Berksy.
Yeah, thank you, Berksy. Actually, third string Broken Lizard is probably the biggest compliment any of us have been paid. So, 5 stars from JD in Dallas. And he says, or she says, usually a he for JDs, but this is why you listen. If you like PFT commenters' humor, then you will love this podcast's next level wit. Only difference is that instead of growing out their hair like PFT, they grew out their midsections. Also, ignore any negative reviews about Pat. Ooh, Team Pat.
Come on.
The guy might look like a cross between a disheveled Dennis Miller and Artie Lang. But he is a key part of this hilarious team. There's no better way to keep up with the current events. You will not regret the decision to download this podcast. However, you may regret watching these 4 on YouTube. Oof. Madden 99 gave them a 99 on sophistication and humor, but a 0 for aesthetics. JD in Texas, but a ching. You're right. We're all not nice to look at for the most part. I mean, unless you like a very particular type of fat white guy. Yeah. So JD got us. You guys got anything for JD?
Pat looks like he's thinking.
Yeah. You got something?
Well,
for
you notice how
Pat?
he said might look like a disheveled Artie Lang and Dennis Miller hybrid. So jury's still out. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Just don't get the dent in your nose.
I will say
everything you can to avoid
I'm gonna help out on the people that like to give Pat shit here. Here's a little tip. You don't need to make fun of him for his political stances because he's not going to change those. But if you make fun of the look, his age in particular, of his looks, that'll get under his skin.
Don't bring that back up. Oh,
Sorry.
no.
I'm the youngest member of this team, and you know that shit.
Yeah, it's a sensitive.
In fact, I was Mark. You and Will are supposed to be in different grades than me. Like I'm the youngest.
No,
member.
I'm second youngest.
Jesus,
I'm only a couple.
I was held back in preschool.
Yeah,
I'm 34
Mark's a
years
year
old.
ahead. That's for sure. He was held back.
I couldn't settle down in preschool.
Pat and I are on time. Mark was held back. Wes is super old, way older than us. But we can't wait to have him back. We fucking missed the guy, just like the rest of you. And that's
Look at
going
this
to do
gray
it.
chest hair. Look at this.
That's nice.
It's like mostly gray.
oh, no.
I didn't choose this.
I didn't know that it was going to be mostly gray.
Oh God.
Yeah. YouTube.com/Hard Factor News for full videos. And that's going to do it for today. Be sure to tune in to Barstool Radio, Hard Factor Radio Hour at 11 a.m. on Sirius XM Power 85. That's from 11 a.m. to noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday. You can get a free trial right now. It's amazing. I love the whole Sirius XM lineup. You double up on your Hard Factor content for free. You get a free trial for a few months. And it's just great. But most importantly, have a great fucking day.